or else then we'll send in the powers that be. And
Yeah, yeah,
remember,
that's the puzzling thing to me is it would be very easy to put like temporarily shut down your operation
yeah,
and say,
yeah,
"Hey,
and remember,
we need 48 hours to conduct like a thorough investigation."
yeah,
But instead they disassembled your machines, right? Like I mean, they literally
they
ripped
took 'em.
everything out from under you.
They
Yeah.
took them. They took everything, the money, everything they could get their hands on. They destroyed. We had our own ATM sitting in the lobby, and they destroyed it.
They took it all apart, cut
They
wires.
destroyed it. Why? Why? You know why? Because they don't want you to take that somewhere else and make money so you can fight them. So anyway,
No, remember I said we made a phone call, and I've got that recorded. Actually, if I'm doing anything wrong, we will stop.
yeah.
And so they didn't even give me that opportunity and saying, "Hey, you guys stop."
Yeah.
So
Crazy.
they take everything. They take the money. Now I want you all to know that they took all of our. We had cameras everywhere, security, and they took all that. They disassembled our security system and took it, but they didn't know we had two of them. One was hidden, and all the cameras were still running, and they didn't know that. And so we got it all on video, and how they were the when they were bringing the money in and they're counting it, they're taking it away. The different deputies are taking it away, and so that's another story. But anyway, we got all this stuff on video if it was necessary. But anyway, so back to where D. Anderson was sitting in the van watching the videos, and I said to him what I said. And so we call our attorney, and he comes right down, and he's walking around and he's witnessing all this stuff, right? And he's like documenting everything they took and all that stuff, and what was going on. And so we're like, well, Don
McDaniels.
We what do we do? And he says, well, I'll go in tomorrow and I'll see what's going on. I'll get a record of it, and we'll have a way to fight all this. We'll get our stuff back. And okay.
And he knows how many times we tried to contact
he's been part of all of this.
The officials, tried to make sure that everything and all the T's were crossed.
We had on the wall what Don McDaniels had written up on how we'd been approved by the powers that we had been to, and how we were. And then when the sheriff came out and said, you guys are operating correctly, and he put a big poster on the wall, and so everybody could see it. And so when they came in, they took that letter, and they said, I hope you're going to sue your attorney for this, because he gave you guys the false hope. We're like, no. So anyway, the next day our attorney goes down to find out what's going on with what our next step is. And he calls us up and he says, there's no record of this raid that they did. We're like, what? He says, well, they just haven't probably got it documented yet or whatever. So next day,
no jurisdiction,
next day, nothing, no record of this. And so I said, well, we got to go to court or something. And our attorney goes, yeah, I'll set up, I don't know how long this took, maybe a month before we got our first hearing. So we go in there, me and Mike and our two attorneys. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Don Driver and Don McDaniels.
Yeah.
And
we actually had three attorneys.
Yeah. Trimber. Anyway, so we go in there to the hearing, and they're going back and forth, and our attorney's reading these statutes that these guys are not getting their due process and all this stuff. And they took the stuff and blah, blah, blah. And the judge goes, stop. We don't have any precedents for this. There's no record of anything. So what am I listening to? And our attorney's like, well, Your Honor, they did this and they did that. And he's like, I can't hear this. Dismissed. And it was about that quick, wasn't it? Really quick. 3 times we went in there doing this and can't hear it. No jurisdiction, no precedence, no nothing. So the last time that
And they took $500,000 worth of machines, and so there's no jurisdiction, but you took our stuff and it hasn't even been reported. What's going on here?
so we
How can you take all that stuff
we go in.
and have no record of it?
Yeah, that's crazy.
How
That's
can you do that?
insane.
So
you-
we go in,
Yeah.
and I don't know if it was the 3rd or 4th time. I think it was the 3rd time. And same thing's going on. And our attorney goes, he's reading these case laws or whatever it is, and he goes, Your Honor, he says, you can't put these people's life on hold. This is the way they make money.
They kept saying it was an ongoing investigation.
Yeah.
So he says, how long can you do this, Your Honor? How long can the DA do this? And the judge is like, yeah, Mr. DA. And he did it like this, like I'm doing it. Yeah, Mr. DA. He says, how long can you do this? And he goes, well, Your Honor, he says, it's an ongoing investigation. He says, and our attorney goes, well, how long does this ongoing investigation take? And he goes, well, and the judge goes, yeah, Mr. DA, how long can you take?
I got a picture of this guy. He was tall and he was from Germany.
And he goes, how long can you do it? How long does this take? How long can you take? And he goes, the DA goes, well, Your Honor, it was the assistant DA. He goes, well, Your Honor, and he's smiling. He says, a year, 2 years,
10 years.
5 years, 10 years? He says, we don't know. It's an ongoing investigation. And the judge goes, well, you got anything else? And our lawyer reads a few things, you know. And he goes, nah, I can't hear it. No case. Dismissed. So we go out in the hallway, and our attorneys are sitting on, there's a bench right out in front of the door, exit of the hallway. And our attorney goes, and they're like, oh, man, they're hanging their heads, right? And the DA assistant and another guy, probably another assistant, they're standing just to the right of the door, and we're sitting like in front of the door. And they're looking back at us, pointing, I swear to you, pointing at us and laughing. I jump up and I go, and I start pacing. And I go, man, I said, there's got to be something we can do. This is ridiculous. I said, is this America? I'm loud, if you can imagine. I said, this is America? I said, this is against our constitutional rights. This is against our due process. We got to be able to do something. And they're like, I said, we need to go federal with this. Not even know what I'm saying, right? We need to go federal with this. This is against our constitutional rights. This should not happen in America. And our attorney goes, he says, I can practice law federally. He says, yeah, I can do that. He says, let me look into it. So that's what we did. So we started a federal lawsuit. And so at that point, it was...
This is all costing a lot of money.
Yeah, it's costing us
A lot of money. Anytime the new idea comes up, or you talk to your attorney, or they make a phone call, or they're doing all this stuff, it costs money every single time. It's not cheap.
We gave one $50,000 just to start, just $50,000 just to...
Yeah, just to
Be on
get
retainer.
anywhere. Yeah.
And then there are 2 more added in, you know.
So
anyway-
you go federal, and
Yeah.
why don't you walk through that process? What was
Okay, we went federal, and so they started the process. And the federal judge got the request, I guess they'd call. I don't know what they'd call it.
Judge means.
Judge means federal judge in Texas. And so the letters started going back and forth. And then our attorney would go, no, you can't hear it because of this. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth for months.